For Cameroonians, Nigerians, and Ghanaians who are thinking of moving to Denmark this year 2026 for studies in English language, please take note that HND is not accepted in Denmark for studies in English, okay? So please, before you even think about going for Denmark for studies in English, don't even consider HND or using your HND degree to apply for schools in Denmark because they won't accept you, okay? And in today's video, let's talk about the University of Aarhus. And this university has some great programs in English for those who are thinking of moving there for studies this year 2026. And the deadline for this university for bachelor's degree ends on the 15th of March 2026, okay? And for master's student, or let me say for those who are going in for masters, the deadline ends on the 15th of January 2026, okay? So bachelor's degree on the 15th of March, while for master's degree on the 15th of January 2026, okay? Now, before I even talk about the programs in English in this university, I'm the University of Aarhus in Denmark, okay? Let's talk about the requirement, and by that I mean your height, okay? Because height is very, very important. In our past videos, I have been advising students to go for height result, okay? To take the height result. I don't know why many students shy away from this. I don't know why. Guys, to go for schools in Europe, okay, even in schools in Denmark, please make sure that your height result is ready, okay? Go for it now. Don't tell me that, Stefan, I wasn't aware about this. Go for your height result now before it is too late. However, for the University of Aarhus in Denmark, if you are thinking of going there for the English programs, okay, the height is compulsory. It doesn't matter if you are coming from English-speaking countries, okay? Please, your height is compulsory. Even though there are some countries in Europe which will tell you that, okay, if your previous study was in English, or let me say, if your high school study was in English, then the height result is not mandatory, okay? I mean, there are so many schools in Europe which won't ask you for your height result if your previous study was in English, okay? But in this school, you must submit your height results. And for the height score, if you check their website, you think that it's clearly written that the demand for at least is 6.5 or 9 height score. I mean, your height, your overall height score, okay, or 9. You need to have at least 6.5 or 9. It continues further. They said that you need to have at least 6 score on each height subsection, okay, before you can even consider going for the University of Aarhus, okay? So please take note of this. However, you can go for other English tests, okay, other English proficiency tests like the TOEFL, the Cambridge test, the Duolingo, and so on. And for TOEFL, you must have at least a TOEFL general score must be at least 83 on 100, okay? Which means that you must have at least 20 on each subsection. So please take note of this, okay? Now let's look at the programs which are available for English students, okay? Or for the English sub programs in the University of Aarhus for bachelor's degree. We have 4 programs here. We have business administration. We have IT product development. We have cognitive sciences and data sciences. So please take note of these programs right here. You can apply to this school right now and go for these programs, okay? I will try to leave a link down below in the description box which you guys can click on it and go straight to the website, to the page. Now you guys have to know that there's some scholarships which are available for this school, okay? Even though I won't talk about it because that's not the purpose of this video today. Now for the tuition fees, please, it is not that cheap, guys. It is very, very expensive. I mean, this is the main reason why most students would apply for schools in Denmark, okay? Because it's very, very expensive. Coupled with the fact that Denmark or the Danish immigration authorities are kind of hard on students right now. Why? Because in the previous years, many students who get admissions into schools in Denmark, mostly African students, many of them when they abandoned school and were more focused on their work than school, okay? Danish immigration authorities are now very strict on students, okay? And now very, very strict on students. I think last year, 2025, the University of Southern Denmark cancelled so many students' admissions. Why? Because those students were more focused on their work. Like, those students were consistently absent from classes. Please take all this into consideration. Denmark is now becoming so hard, okay? So before you even go for schools in Denmark, please consider these facts, okay? And talking about the tuition fees, it's not that cheap, guys. It is very, very expensive. I think it should be as expensive as that of Finland also, okay? Very, very expensive. Now for African students, mostly Cameroonians, Ghanaians, and Nigerians who are considering going for schools in Denmark or who are considering going for University of Aarhus for English short programs, please expect to pay at least, or let me say, between 7,000, 8,000 euros to maybe 13,000, 14,000, 15,000 euros. So it is very, very expensive, guys. Per semester, oh, per semester. So don't think that this money is per academic year. No, per semester. Which means that if you pay the first semester, you must have the next semester fees, which you have to pay again. Okay. So just like in Finland, to actually work in Denmark and pay your fees won't be that easy, guys. It will be very, very difficult to pay that fees because, as earlier said in my other video, each country has a limited hours of work which it gives to students. Okay, and if, for example, they say that you have to work 20 hours per week. Okay, if you are being paid 12 euros or even 13 euros per hour, I don't think you can be able to raise that money to raise 8,000 euros pay for fees. That would be very, very expensive. Okay, even like some students are even charged up to 10,000 euros per semester. So take all this into consideration, guys, before you go for any. That's why I always advise my people that before you go for any country, please watch my videos to the end. Okay, my videos are not that long, they are very, very short. Watch them to the end, ask questions, make sure you go through the make sure you do your own research. Okay, if you need help from me, if you want some kind of help, please contact me directly and I will help you in any way that I can. Okay, why? Because I know what it takes. Okay, I know how it feels to apply for schools in Europe. It is very, very complicated, guys, and if you don't get the right information, you won't get the admissions and you will just waste your money and be shunned. So I know how this feels because I've been in this same spot before. Okay, for those who don't know, I've applied for school in Belgium last year. Even though the school gave me admission, but the immigration authorities in Belgium were like, so it's very complicated, guys. I'll make a video about it. I'll drop the link down below for those who want to watch that video. So please make sure to watch all my videos to the end, ask questions, do research, and all the likes. Okay, now for those who want to know, this school will charge you for application fees. I think it should be like 165 euros or 160 euros, I think so. So please expect to pay an application fees if you are thinking of going into the University of Aarhus. Okay, and again, Denmark has no proof of funds. Okay, no proof of funds in Denmark. If you have already paid the first semester tuition fees, just use the receipt for tuition fees as proof of funds. Okay, and you are good to go. So basically, you don't have to pay any proof of funds in Denmark. And before I go, please apply for public schools in Denmark. Avoid private schools in Denmark. Why? Because public schools in Denmark will give you more advantages than private schools in Denmark. Okay, take for instance, like if you are going in for private schools, you can move in with your family. Okay, while for public schools, you can move in with your family in Denmark. Okay, so please, there's so many things that public schools offer which private schools don't offer in Denmark. So please always go for public schools in Denmark. Okay, and for requirements in this school, I'll make a separate video on that. Okay, so please, if you haven't yet subscribed to my page, please do so right now so that you get notified when that video goes live next week. Okay, so thanks for watching again. If you have more questions about this school or about the country or about the English short programs in this school, okay, please let me know down below in the comment section and catch you guys in my next video. Peace.